Hi friends, today I have a pleasant task of interacting with Sri Suresh Chand, an IAS officer of 1985 batch who retired recently after having held uh, several critical positions which directly impinge on the uh, services of government to the common citizen. He's held several positions, including Collector Chittur onwards. He's held positions in IT sector principally as managing director of Andhra Pradesh Technological Services, and then he also has the distinction of having been one of the longest serving special commissioner and commissioner commercial taxes, which is a very complicated department, revenue earning department, and challenge in terms of curtailing corruption and all those things, which he has handled with tremendous amount of deftness and confidence, and people as a whole had reposed tremendous trust in him. Apart from that, Suresh Chandji became the Special Chief Secretary of Land Revenue, and he was also, I think, the final position which he held was Special Chief Secretary and Secretary to the Finance Commission. All these positions is held with a tremendous distinction, and in a batch of 150, um, he has been one of the galvanizing forces. Like generally, what happens when the retirement takes place, people disperse, and there is hardly any connect. The credit of keeping all these group united, be in touch emotionally, and in terms of administratively, intellectually, the credit goes to Suresh Chandji. He's uh, he's an engineer by training. He's done his MBA in Syracuse University in United States of America. So he's got a combination of technology and management, which he has put to tremendous use. He's also worked in the electricity department, the transport department, and brought about tremendous reforms. Now, I know the surface of all these things, but the depths of what has been done and what has happened, particularly in terms of citizen services, reforms in power sector, reforms in IT sector, and creating actually a state-wide area network with the 2 GB connecting then 23 districts of undivided Andhra Pradesh is not a joke. And I would like to hear from Sri Suresh Chand how he has done all these things in challenging circumstances, because these days uh, doing things, planning things is one, executing things is a completely different thing, and after that, sustaining is another challenge. So, would you like to respond, Mr. Suresh Chan?
See, before coming to your topic, I like to mention that for any democratic government, four functions are the major functions. The first being the safety and security of the citizens. Number two becomes there could be there will be some disputes when the society to how to have a very early, very timely addressing the disputes. That is judiciary function, judicial functions. And third one is the doing some economic development for the people can live their life with ease. Along with that, it happens that service sector also comes into that picture. So out of these four functions, although service comes at the bottom, but is very important. And I'll narrate a small story how that I took up this important function in the government. When I was studying in intermediate, in my certificate, there was a minor mistakes in my name. And I tried for 4 years with the government. After paying my fee, also challan also, but it didn't happen. Then I decided, then I came to know that how difficult it is to deal with the government or interact with the government. And fortunately, I come back to go to job in the government, and that was my first motive. Everywhere where I've gone to any posting, how to make things easy for the citizen. That has been the my major objective. How to make interaction with the government, which could be much more friendly and easy and convenient. With this objective, I started from the very beginning itself. But as Mr. Bhaskar has just mentioned, I have been almost for 8 years in IT sector and used the IT information technology for making things easy for the government. Not only say uh, getting revenue for the government, but most important was how to make things easy for the people to interact with the government. Commercial taxes almost for 5.5 years, and very satisfying job in commercial taxes as well as in the IT department. And rather than commercial tax department, all services of department was online. Except for filing appeal, no dealer need to come to commercial tax office. Everything was online.
That's great.
And it was done long back, almost 50 years back. Those days was done. And IT sector, I think people in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana knows about the Me Seva centers, which have really revolutionized the how to extend services to the citizens through Me Seva centers. And now, of course, it has been made, many services have been made online also. It was difficult, but I must say, if you have a proper perspective, take people into along with you, things are possible.
Uh, in a real manner of speaking, Me Seva Center is a precursor to the common service centers which came up later on as a government of India scheme and have spread all over the country. How well they are functioning in a different state is a altogether different matter. I have worked in Assam where about more than 5,000 common service centers, which we call as Arunodai centers. They are like Me Seva centers. They they operated very well. They are still existing. So I can dare say that uh, probably you are the creator of this very valuable instrument, because now in Arunodaya centers in Assam, people need not go anywhere. They can file applications there only. They are uploaded, and the response comes back,
Yeah.
and there are time limits and all that. So that's a tremendous job. And would you like to tell how you could create such a huge infrastructure of connecting internet for 23 districts with such a nice bandwidth, and to make sure that everything is held over video conferences, and there is no need for travel coming to Hyderabad for meetings and all that. I think it has obviated a lot of difficulties and created an atmosphere of competition, because when we are having a VC with 23 collectors, HODs here, chief minister, minister, and all that, there is a sense of competition about what one has done. So, in many ways, it is an absolutely citizen-centric work. Would you like to respond how you have done it actually?
See, in that, what you said rightly so, that Me Seva was the beginning of bringing citizen service close to the public. It started in Andhra Pradesh, and I must say the first credit goes to the political government of that time. They decided that we must take use of IT to not only earn revenues for the government, but also providing services to the citizens. And as a part of that, it was actually three components on the IT infrastructure. So as a part of that, the all 23 districts were connected with the state headquarters through video conference facility. And second component was the high-tech city came on at that time to create an environment for the IT companies to come over here and generate revenue, provide employment, and also generate revenue for the government also. And third component was how to extend government service to citizens at their doorsteps. And as a part of that, Mi-Seva centers were created, covering almost all districts and all major towns also was converted over there. And the concept was that for any services, citizen need not go to any government office. He can walk into the nearest Mi-Seva centers and get things done over there. And the success of that is such that now it has become almost entire country has been covered by Mi-Seva centers. Maybe names may be different from state to state, but concept is same. That a citizen go to a common center, common service center, and get his services done over there. And for that, we also got an award from Prime Minister for this citizen services for Mi-Seva centers over that time.
And the spin-off benefit of creating such large number of Mi-Seva centers, or whatever the name each state has adopted, is creation of tremendous amount of employment.
Yes.
And I have had recent experience of having updated my Aadhaar, updated my passport. The boys are very competent, and they do it fatafat, without wasting time. Things are done, and the harassment levels, I think, more or less are disappearing now, which is a very welcome kind of situation. I would say uh, 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 IT has been used to the best of the abilities to make sure that the life of the citizens is made easier. And now, with things like artificial intelligence coming in, I'm sure a state like Telangana, state like Andhra Pradesh, some states like Gujarat, those which are progressive, Maharashtra and all that, they would grab the opportunity to make sure that this artificial intelligence is used for positive purpose, and not for negative purpose, and to facilitate the life of the citizens. So, are there any plans which you visualize, although you demitted office? Definitely, I'm sure your council, vice council, is always obtained by the incumbent IT secretary. Yeah, are there any plans to use artificial intelligence, even in an incipient manner, to make sure that the citizens are happy?
If you see the entire concept citizen services, I will say three, for example, I'll give example to express my point is that you say that railway reservation was a real success.
Yes.
And payment of taxes to the government or for utility bill payments like electricity, water and all that has been also very successful. Third one has been our UPI, transfer of money from one person to another person or for any other purpose. I think that the number of transactions taking place every day is mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling.
So these three places, realization and your utility bill payments plus the UPI. But you see, all these three things, these are absolutely automatic systems. No human intervention is involved anywhere. That's why they have been very, very successful. But if you come to the second category where human intervention is involved, still we need to do a lot. Except if I'll say, give an example of passport services. Passport Seva Kendras, although there is a human element is involved, after you submit your applications over there is a approval process which is manual still. But still, in 10 to 15 days, you get the passport. Except this one, in all other cases where human element is involved in the office, things are still taking a lot of time. There AI can come into a picture, help to digitize the internal processes of the government, so that every service of the government is absolutely online. You apply for service, it comes back to you. through the system at the same point, or maybe a bit delay, but automatically. Now with the AI process, it's possible that you digitize all the process in the office, digitize all databases of the people, and provide services online to the people, just like we are happening UPI or railway reservation, or maybe the utility bill payments. So you take example of building permission. In any municipal corporation or municipalities, you have to apply for building permission to start construction or building. Now, application can be filed online, but processing still is manual.
Is still manual.
Manual, and because of that, the delay takes place, and sometimes delay could also be maybe the cause for rent seeking or corruption, where AI can help a lot. So once you give application online, let AI process complete entire thing, and you get the permission online. There is no need for any human intervention in verifying or examining your application for giving the approvals. There are many processes which are complicated.
That's true.
Those cases
where AI cannot help.
AI can really help a lot to make it completely automatic.
Now, there is a very serious apprehension amongst people that the artificial intelligence will, displace them from the employment and then render them unemployed. I think I have a feeling that there should be serious thinking on this as to which are the areas in which AI must be utilized to make life easy for the citizens without making them unemployed. Because as it is, our levels of unemployment are only increasing, and with some freebies going on, there is no ambition to even obtain employment. So I do think there could be a way of AI being utilized efficiently without displacing manpower.
See, this question comes for every new technology. When computer was introduced long back, I still remember when I was in IT department, that time the computers were just being introduced in the offices and banks. At that time, bankers went on strike, said that computer will replace us. It never happened.
Yeah,
When new technology comes, maybe the scope and the nature of job changes.
changes. Yes.
You are doing a particular job now, with changing technology, you do something different. But employment has not come down. It has gone up. Manifold has gone up. So there's no thing. I don't think there has to be a real cause of concern that AI will replace human beings' job. Maybe change may come in the nature of job. For that, our engineering colleges must retune themselves to create those areas for job employment which are required by the AI. So I don't think there has to be a very serious concern that AI will really have an adverse impact on the jobs, but it can have certain impact on nature of job. And for that, we have to be ready.
I think it's one of the finest answers I have got, because there was an apprehension when computers invaded the industry. People thought that human beings will go out, but it didn't happen. I think something similar might happen here also. That's a very good prognosis which you gave now. Uh, Now, I would request my young colleague Chandrahas, who has some questions for you. So, Chandrahas, would you like to?
Like to know from sir that even now, even though Me Seva portals have come, there are a lot of bureaucratic struggles. Even when we try to go through the online portals, the forms are rejected for some reason. In real life, it becomes a bit easier to go and talk to the person at the counter and understand what is the issue versus a faceless interaction system. So I'd like to understand from sir what are the ways the government is planning to solve for this problem, where for some random error the person's form is rejected, and how does a common citizen solve it through grievance portals, etc.
Yeah, what you mentioned is really a concern. Because earlier, what you said, people can go and talk to the assistant and resolve the issues across the table. But now, with the interaction through either the mobile app or through the portal or website, this has come down. See, that's why I gave previously an example that 3 applications has been very, very successful in our country. The reservation system, whether it's a railway or airlines, and the utility bill payments.
Yes.
And third one has been the UPI.
Yes.
And if you see all the 3, there is no human element involved at all.
Right.
That's why they have really become very, very successful. And they're everything taken care of by the system. There is no question of rejections and everything happen. But in the day-to-day life, things are not so easy.
Yes.
Suppose you apply for like a mutation of your property in a local body, it requires some interaction, uploading certain forms, uploading of registration document, and while doing so, there is a possibility of there's something going wrong.
Right.
Then how to go about it? Where is the mechanism through which you can interact with the concerned department? That has been a real issue, and I must say a lot is to be done. What you express is real problem, and that's why I suggest in all government departments which have interaction with the public to digitize their internal processes to the extent that such rejection or there is no need for interaction. Like happened in 3 cases. If you see a passport also, earlier getting a passport was a nightmare.
Yes.
It takes you months time.
That's true.
And we have to go Tatkal scheme to get it. Suppose you want it in 15 days, 20 days. Now you say passports comes in 10 days to you.
Right.
And a passport, a type of certificate which is highly important from the point of view of because passport means you are become like a citizen of the country. If that can be done without this rejection problems and other associated problems, or with the need for interaction with the person in the office, it can be done for others also. It's question of reprocessing, redesigning the sequence of activity in the office, digitizing it, so that most of things are done or cross-checked by the system online. There may be some cases still left out. How to take care of those cases? I have a small, I'll give you an example. See, I compared to private sector and government sector.
Yeah.
I had a issue with buying certain things. I opened the bags, found some mistakes or something defective. I went online. 5 minutes, the refund was ordered.
Yes.
Why can't we do it in government?
Exactly.
With such a huge machinery, huge resources at its command, and it's a mandate of the government to provide good quality citizen services to citizens.
Right.
Then people may ask why it's not happening in government, why it can happen in the private sector. But there is a single point. Government is a monopoly. People have no choice.
Yes.
They have to go to same office, interact with the same person if they want that service. But in private sector, if you are not happy with one, you can go to second one, you can do third one. And if the private sector has to survive in the market, they have to ensure that they are better than others. There is no such feeling or compulsions or pressure in the government sector. Exceptions are there. I would say like passport seva. It has come very nicely. That's why I still say you will be surprised to know that in government sector or in government department, there is no help desk.
Really?
There is no help desk in any government.
Okay.
You can't ring up to anybody.
Yes, that's
You can't ring up the commissioner or secretary out of question, out of no way.
yes.
Down below, they are not supposed to interact with the public.
Right.
So suppose you have a problem, whom to contact, how to contact. That's why I suggested the process in the government department must be digitized. And now with the help of AI, it's possible to do it so that most of things are done online and there is no need for any interaction with the office staff. But we can't exclude it. There could be a possibility of interacting with the staff.
Okay.
And for that, there is a need for all departments to create a window of help desk where you can ring up, raise your issue, and we'll internally check it up and give a feedback to you. That is the one is use of AI to digitize the entire process. Second thing, creating a bit of like human interaction also, where you are not able to do it, so get it done through human interaction.
Right. So in this question, this is a very important question that to redress grievances, why cannot the government have a 24/7 helpline where people can call whenever they have, whenever they are in an issue? It like Twitter, like as he mentioned, you can go to companies' Twitter websites and complain, raise complaints there. Can we have something for each department where if the problem is not getting resolved, he can go to Twitter and directly reach a centralized customer grievance cell, which is monitored by a senior officer?
That's a right session you have given. Hope one day or other government will take it forward. And from the beginning, I have been trying. I did this experiment in my department. See, you should make a difference between the private sector and the government sector. Private sector depends on feedback because they have to survive in the market. If they're not better than others, they will disappear.
Yes.
Which doesn't apply to government. Government will always be there. It's a monopoly situation. And government, if you give a feedback, it is taken as if there is a deficiency in the service.
Okay.
And that must result into an action on against somebody.
Okay.
And that is one of the reasons that is rarely the government departments take feedback online from the public. Whereas in the private sector, for small companies also,
Yes.
they take feedback after service. I tried in one of the department, in hospitals, in animal husbandry department. I say every person coming to hospital after taking service, take a feedback from him. How was the interaction?
Yes.
How was the response of doctor? And it will be recorded by through a call center. They will give a call and pick up on some predefined questions and answer it. My department said no. They didn't agree.
Why is that?
Reason being same thing.
Fear of criticism.
Fear, criticism. And they say some patient says, I was not treated well by doctor.
Of course.
Then question will come, what action you have taken against the doctor?
Right.
See, feedback should never be for taking action or disciplinary action.
Yes.
It should be to improve the services
Efficiencies,
and
right.
find out what is missing in our service and how we can improve it. Then I convince them. I told them, my staff, on this feedback, no question of initiating any action against anybody. This is only for the purpose of knowing where we are lacking,
Right.
and how to improve it.
Correct.
And they believed me, and we started the system.
Okay.
As long as I was in department, I was working. We had a call center. We used to pick up the mobile number of the patient coming over there, give a call back, and take question. It was really very, very nice to see that most of people were happy with our delivery system. Few people had issues, and we took it as feedback to improve it further. Like somebody said, you close down at 4 o'clock. I come back at 6 o'clock. How will I get your service?
Yes.
It's very right, very right. In spite of being department, we were not aware there are some people who can't avail services in the late evening because the things are closed in the evening, late evening. Then we devised it. We put 2 blocks, one in the morning and one in the evening. Of course, in the evening, because we have to handle with the same staff, lesser staff, but we extended the service to the late evening. So people who come in the late, they can also take our service. So feedback is very important mechanism, and that requires a change in the mindset that feedback should be used for purpose of improving the quality of service. And I hope the government department starts it as early as possible.
Right. So one of the questions which the public usually has, that despite digitization of everything, despite digitization of driving license, the entire process, why are there so many brokers? You see them still outside the RTO office. Why is there still so much corruption? Of course, it has dropped in the last 20 years. And why is there so much of pushback and so many brokers, so many people waiting outside these government offices to get your job done when everything is digitized? Where is this issue and how can we solve it further to come to a level of, say, European or Singapore level of bureaucracy?
Reason for that is our processes are very complicated.
Okay.
So difficult. For a common man, it's very difficult to understand that. And second thing, to understand that if many large number of people can go to portal and avail the services. There are large number of people who are not very friendly or not very comfortable for using the either mobile app or the website. So they have to go physically. And the processes are so opaque, not known to public, and that is taken advantage by the middleman. Second thing, I'm just giving the same example. Make service absolutely online. Give it to Me Seva. Suppose you can't operate your computer, no problem. You go to Me Seva. Request the application there, you get the output over there. We used to give earlier the examples that it's not question that you should own a computer. You should be computer literate.
Right.
To get services from computer or from the IT. And the example I used to give when I was in IT department is that I don't own aeroplane,
Yes.
but I travel in aeroplane.
Right.
So it's not necessary that you should be computer literate or should own a computer to take IT services.
Right.
When you can create a physical infrastructure, services processes are a bit complex. I'll give you a small example. Like applying for building permission, again to give an example for construction purpose. Now for uploading the document, you must have a software called ArcView
Okay.
to convert, which converts in the files into readable format,
Digital
format. Now, how many people will have that software in their houses?
Yes.
None will have. None will have. So again, this middleman comes into picture.
Okay.
You go to middleman, and then middleman does his job. And I used to say, when older system used to give physical copy,
Yes.
and you give processing it. Why can't he upload the picture of the drawing to you? Why you want that software which people don't have?
Right.
Second thing, renewal of driving license. Very simple process is there. But for renewal, they used to ask, then so I tried, because I tried system myself. Then I tried, let me renew my license online.
Yes.
Then they ask for, please sign on the screen of the phone. I say, so difficult.
Yeah.
For signing on your thing, you require a stylus,
Yeah.
which nobody has.
And yes,
And signature will not be
Perfect.
perfect.
Of course.
stylus doesn't work.
So who will have stylus in the house? Nobody will have it.
Nobody.
Why you want signature?
Yeah.
If you want signature, okay, ask a person to sign on paper and take a photo and upload it.
Correct. Of course.
Question is simplification of processes. If we simplify it, and people should know that how to get the service very easily, this middleman system can be reduced.
Right. So one of the questions I'll ask from my own background, I did my MBA and then I joined Pidilite as a sales manager. The first task when we join is we are supposed to do the job of a sales officer. So we learn how difficult that is and what are the challenges. Why are not IAS officers put in a stint where they see the pain of the common man, go through the entire process to understand whether the system which they have been taught versus what is implemented is happening without breaking? Unless they understand the pain of a common man who has to come to their department and go through that, like years, centuries back, Rajas used to go and see the plight of the common man. Why can't we have a system like this so that the IAS officers understand the pain themselves and therefore improve the process much better?
Very rightly said. Very, very rightly said. There is no other choice.
Yes.
There is no other option. And your example was perfect. Unfortunately, not happening in government. I tried in my commercial tax department. I was almost 5.5 years. The return filing was A4 size paper. Just A4 size paper. One page, that's all.
Excuse me.
So simple. Anybody can do it. And what you said that it was my first principle. If I can't do it,
Yes.
then how can common man do it?
Common man do it.
I'm being a by education engineer. Okay, what are the others? If we can't do, then how do you think that common man can do it? And that was my principle when I was designing any software. When I was in the IT department, commercial department, first thing that I used to give example. People say, sir, we have to train people for using the IT. I say, why? Did anybody trained for booking reservation for train.
Yeah.
Nobody was trained. Nobody was trained. People just did it on their own. So why we need to have trained people to get any services through government software? It means software is not good.
Correct.
That was one of the objective. But you said rightly, unfortunately, the people who are at cutting edge, like the IS officer or commissioners, if they start using their own application for their own purpose, they will know where are the pains and will come out. But government systems are slightly difficult because I say it's a monopoly. There is no pressure of improving the services. But I gave a feedback to one of my commissioners. And now GST is there. I said to him, I am not able to file GST return.
Oh my goodness.
I worked in almost 5.5 years in commercial tax department, and by education I am a engineer, and worked for almost 8 years in IT department, computer department.
Yeah.
But I am not able to file my return of GST return on my own. I tried.
Yes.
So I am now filing because I am the secretary of the society where you have to file GST return every quarter with the help of CA.
Yes.
Why? If engineers can't file GST return on its own without the help of CA, there's something wrong. And that will come through what you suggested. If the head of the office, of the head of organization, do things on its own and at least check it on its own through a trial, through a dummy transaction, to find out where are the pain points, things will improve.
So, to give one of the examples, my elderly grandmother, she is 92 and she's bedridden, and her pension stopped coming for 6 months. When my dad tried to ask, they said that the patient has to come on their own and verify that they are not dead. Now, something like this, anybody cannot go through. Some people go through, some people don't. So, this brings into a question where using AI or using machine learning, can the government not look at unique cases where things are not making sense and solve for it? But how will that happen if they are not even willing to take feedback, not willing to take criticism, and trying to make a FAQ, a frequently asked questions of what happens if a rare event happens? Because of that, a lot of people will be struggling right now. So is there a way that the government can solve for these unique conditions which are slowly becoming more and more prominent because of, let us say, a lot of people living till the 90s, a lot of people having more and more health issues? How is the government adapting to the recent technology and health changes in the last 20 years?
Fortunately, this has been done, but a lot of improvements are required. Now it's possible that you can give what you call life certificate by pensioners through a mobile app can be done, and you don't have to go to office. And for others, of course, you can go to bank, you can go to post office, and you can do online also. But still, I will say it's not so easy.
Right.
Jeevan Praman, there is one application developed by Government of India, but again, same problem, very complicated. For giving my own life certificate, I was sitting in my house. It was normal lit. They said light is not enough. I went to my rooftop, and there I could register myself. I said, what a problem, what an issue. The light is not enough. I can't put extra tube light for giving my life certificate in my room. And second thing, the questions are so many for giving life certificates, but too many, unnecessarily. Say for every pensioner, you have one unique number. We call it PPO number is there. It's a unique number. Pick up unique number, that's all done.
Right.
You have to pick up a state, you have to pick then you ask for who you are paying pension payment office. I know it is a PPO in Nampalli, I had, but many people may not be aware that you have to search for the list. First for Telangana state, then pension, then it says central pension or state pension, then go to the office name, and then I say, why it is all required?
Yes.
Nothing. You should put up only a number and your data should come.
Right. Right.
And next thing, take a photo, live photo, and done. 3 steps. And I have a feedback of many of our pensioners. They were not able to do it. So ultimately, they took help of the bank or the post office.
Right.
Because of, again, same question comes here. Our processes have not changed. What was in manual, that has been converted into the technical.
Yeah.
Okay, convert it. But let the system do it by itself from the backside. And only for the certificate, only number, your live photo, and done.
Right.
That way, Telangana software is slightly better.
Right.
Live certificate, Telangana, better.
Isn't that software all India?
No, Telangana state is for Telangana pensioners only, but it applies to Telangana state government employees and also all India service officer retired from Telangana.
No, life certificate.
Life certificate, yes. Telangana is only
separate for each state.
States might have done it, but Telangana has done it. But there is a central government software now, what is called Jeevan Praman. But again, saying it's very complicated. But that's why I'm saying it refused
Light
to.
is not
It is refused to take my photo in my drawing room,
Light is not sufficient.
and I had 2 tube lights. I said, how it suggests that I should put more tube light or put something extra tube light for taking my photo?
Right.
Where today AI are so powerful, even dark, you can take photo.
Right.
Question of simplification required, but it has been done. It's a big change over a period of time from the earlier days. But lot of simplification is still required.
Right. So looking at India, one of the biggest issues we have faced is the ease of doing business rank, which actually improved from, I think, 150 to 110. But in the last 5-6 years, it's been stuck around that. Why is there still so much of red tape? Why are there so many departments? And why does a person need so many documents and go to so many different departments to fill up, with at least 50 to 60 permissions being required? At a basic citizen also, we require so many documents: Aadhaar, PAN, passport, voter ID. Why is there still not, in the last 10 years with India becoming a startup India, why is the government not cutting off all the bureaucracy in one shot to push us into the top 20 or 30 ease of doing business as per your experience till now?
See, again, question of simplification, question of trust. I don't know from where it has come, but in government system, you don't trust people.
Yes.
And that's why I created so many forms to be uploaded, so many certificates are required and something like that. I think a small example. They want when I reviewed my driving license, they need a certificate of medical doctor certificate, because after 60 years you have to give a certificate. I took a certificate. I said, how will know that certificate is genuine? They don't have signature to compare it.
Correct.
This is the signature of the doctor of my area, and it is telling. Nobody can check it.
Right.
So when you can't check it, then why you want the certificate?
Yes.
Why don't you take a self-declaration?
Yes.
But you have to upload it. Now, these are the issues where somewhere many of the things can be removed to make it simpler. But yes, for giving any license, government has to take care of certain issues over there. So requirements may not be totally removed altogether, like environmental requirement require local air pollution, water pollution. Like for industry, you need certain certification. That is necessary, but you can simplify them. Can you believe? I give an example. You will laugh at the way the government makes the rules. Just to give an example, when I applied for my pension after retirement,
Right.
I have to mention my height.
Okay. Why?
I ask question: if my height is more, will you give me a more pension? No, height. What's the issue?
Oh my God.
Second thing, they want my color of my hair.
Okay.
I say I color my hair. Should I write with color or without color? Third thing, you will further laugh. Color of your eyes.
Oh my God.
Now, how are relevant for that?
Exactly.
For getting a pension, how they're relevant?
That's true.
Every data is available with the government. How much salary I get from everything available with the government. You simply retire me on so and so day and fix my pension. You know, it's almost 100 pages one has to file for getting a pension to be approved by the government.
My goodness.
And I give an example because I am now retired. I can't do anything. I didn't know about it. But finance secretary was there. I say, at least you do something.
Yeah.
Remove this height and color and something from your requirement and all that.
Yes.
And they want all 5 fingers thumb impression. I say, why?
My God.
Why do you care?
Not 10 and irises also.
So that gives an example for
DNA. They will require a piece of your patch of your skin
Yes.
for DNA
Yeah,
test
for
analysis
DNA
also.
So this shows that in the government system, some rules were framed long back.
Right.
Maybe necessary on those days,
Correct.
because those days identifiers were difficult. So you measure height is there and color of eyes and all that you do to identify that you are giving pension to a person who is eligible for pension.
Right. Right.
Now that stage is not there. You have Aadhaar verification is there. Even your ID cards are there. So why you don't require? But system is continuing same thing.
Right.
But this height thing, nobody asks us. Color of eyes and color of
It can
hair.
vary from state to state. May vary from state to
You
state.
see, again,
Yeah.
that's the problem.
That's it. That's it.
In Assam, 100 pages is
Yes,
okay,
yes.
constant. Maybe around 100 to 150 pages. And you have to produce records of 36, 38 years old.
Oh my God.
And then you have to grind your damn nose on the floor, and then do all kinds of somersaults to get your pension.
Yes.
And at the end of it, every year, November, they ask you for life certificate.
Life certificate.
Then application is there, which sometimes works, sometimes says that the luminescence is not good enough.
Yes.
And that kind of problem is there. Anyway,
So what you suggested is there is of course I think government of India has been doing it. Like recently they have scrapped a lot of laws
Yes.
which was not relevant, maybe relevant in those days but not relevant now. Has been totally been annulled. Same way, every government department has to go through is the say process, which are process which are not required.
Right. Right. Right.
And for that, I will always suggest government cannot do it because we are conditioned. It should be third party from public who has seen or has faced the pains. Say this is not required.
Yes.
And once processes are simplified, things will improve. I'm saying the same thing like my pension. Can you believe it? Such type of ridiculous things they ask at the time of retirement, and it's still continuing in the rule book. Why should continue?
Those rules must have been framed in 1861.
Of course. Of course.
And these most of the civil servants either are not inclined to read, or they cannot read such boring stuff.
Yeah.
So most of the things go by default.
Yeah.
सुपर नेट को पूछते हैं ऐसा कुछ प्रोविजन है क्या देखो.
Yes.
So he goes and sees. After that they record it.
So I think I'll give my own example. I have worked in both legacy companies and startups. What happens in legacy companies, very large companies, is there are so many layers of bureaucracy.
Yes.
There is a manager, there is a senior manager, general manager, deputy general manager, vice president, president, CEO, managing director. Everyone has to justify his job. To justify his job, he will keep doing theatrics. He will jump over the top, he will dance, he will do this. So in terms of this, to keep justifying how are you adding value, what happens is more and more rules and processes are built. Every single department, and I imagine in a private company, I struggle to get a job done. I have to reach my CEO. The CEO will talk to the president of operations. President of operations will talk to the DGM packaging, and only then things will move. While in a startup where it is very clear there are only 10 folks, you have to manage everything. When one person has to handle so much, he will not put any rule. He will cut down on everything. He will say, okay, approved. The point of trust, you have to trust. In a small startup, you have to trust everyone is working for the end goal. And that is when a lot of people will not put in so much legacy because there are not so many people. Imagine there is a manager, there is a senior manager, and there is an executive. The executive is doing all the job. Now the senior manager will be like, what are you doing? He will add 2 more lines just to make it more complicated. And this is a human nature, this is a human problem which is there everywhere. So why cannot the government start looking at startup-like things? We're really cutting down on this bureaucracy, cutting down on this red tape, maybe give these people's job somewhere else and ensure that the thousands of layers are reduced so that the government actually becomes minimum government, maximum governance.
We will deal with this subject separately because it's a rather complicated subject.
Yeah, we would like just a couple of
And the
minutes if you could give your...
doesn't doesn't have the eminent domain to go on interfering in every damn thing like startup meet narako as a, because every business determines what it wants and how much it can pay. It's a larger question, and ease of doing business started with a noble intent, but by and large is a failure
Right.
across.
I'll respond to this question. Say if you see the working of the government internally, this issue is not very serious in my view. There has been a lot of delegations are there.
Yes.
Like Tehsildar has certain powers,
Yes.
then SDM has certain powers, then collector has, then your commissioners have, then government also has. Yes, there is a need for reducing the file movement.
Right.
Now, in government, by and large, before the file comes to the person who has to finally approves, it will go up to 4 to 5 layers.
Yes.
That can be reduced, and that can be done when you use the AI and IT to digitize your entire internal processes can be reduced and all that. That is not a serious issue of we can live with that. Say persons can live with delay if the delay is known. I know this will take 10 days to me. I
Right.
plan for 10 days, no
Right.
issue.
Right.
The problem is that people don't know when it will be done.
Yes.
And that is because of this all layers. And at every layer, there are certain expectations. And that will delay the things. So government efficiency has improved. Like in Government of India, it's called desk system,
Okay.
where things just jump,
Government of India
Yes.
seems to be
Yes.
far more
organized in that way. So important subjects are handled by the senior officer, and they just go to secretary or additional secretary, joint secretary, and then things are done. Like most of things, they've gone done at joint secretary level. They don't go up. They don't go up. Same thing, state government also. Like most of things which are deal with the common public, handled by Tehsildar,
Right.
by the SDM and the collector. Nothing more moves up.
Okay.
But question is accountability of every layer to do the things within the time frame given.
Right. Right.
They say overburdened.
Right.
So solution lies in simplification. Many of things can be done away with that. I'm saying like people they ask lot of certificate. I say I give certificate to you. How we know the certificate is genuine?
Right.
When you don't know his signature.
Right.
Why don't you accept the a certificate by self certification, which Government of India is doing it in many cases. Simplify the processes and digitize to the extent possible all the process internally through digitize, so that machine will take decision.
Right.
And you get the output. Wherever human intervention is there is always a possibility of delay.
Right.
And delay breeds into corruption. As simple as that.
Right. So, what are the changes? Like, what is it that
So-
Singapore's government and Europe government are doing in terms of why are they so much more efficient compared to us? When digitally we are far ahead of everyone in terms of 5G, in terms of UPI, why is it not transforming into speed of efficiency?
Political will and desire to provide a fair government and not I say free of corruption but least corrupt government.
Okay.
If you have that idea, you see every political government comes with a manifesto for election. They say we'll do this, we'll do free power or free bus or a lot of things they announce in that one. We'll make a change in the law and all that. Has any government or any political party manifesto says will provide good citizen services within a time frame without corruption? None. None of the political party has any manifesto, any single line for that, saying that our services will be provided online, following services provided online without human intervention. None.
Anyway, comparing Singapore with India is probably not a very exactly correct thing. Singapore is, after all, half the size, even less than Hyderabad.
Just like Aerocity. This
So
is like
the issue is we have had a fairly long discussion and great exposition of the subject of citizens services, particularly in the context of government delivering it to the large number of citizens like 1.4 billion to their satisfaction. Now the question which required to be answered was why brokers?
Right.
It is because even I or Suresh or you cannot fill most of the forms.
Right.
So those
Yes,
forms are filled only by the brokers.
brokers.
And you can't run around a DTO, you can't run around the RTA and all that.
Right.
So that fellow will do and give him some few chips and then he will do. That is how the system is getting subverted.
Right.
Now, my observation, with the permission of my esteemed colleague, is that there is no application of mind towards simplification at the level of highest bureaucracy. They don't have time. They are all file pushers. They are all file pushers. And I have hardly seen senior officers tour around. How will they know? I think you mentioned and Suresh ji also mentioned that those days Rajas used to go and interact anonymously with the citizens to understand the problems of the plaguing in the population. Now, in the present context, senior officers, right from secretary level, collector anyway tours, but secretary onwards, they are desk bound. Please ask him whether how many of them tour around. 1% if they tour around, I can vouch for that they don't. They sit, they clear the file. So therefore, the reality is different from what we do. So I would like to close this session by making a few remarks. Firstly, deep sense of gratitude to Sri Suresh Chand for having come, spared his time despite his busy schedule, and he has spoken on a subject which impinges on every one of us. There is not a single fellow who doesn't depend on government services. There is not a single fellow who doesn't depend on some sort of service. Now, he has explained how IT was integrated with citizen services delivery in Telangana, the then combined Andhra Pradesh, in a successful manner, in a rather 5.5 years of hard work never went waste. So that's a good news. And in the commercial taxes also, he has contributed a lot. I know it. In fact, I know Suresh Chandji more intimately when he was holding these two posts because I used to keep meeting him and chit chat for a while and then understand what is being done and all that. There is a tremendous drive which he has, and the drive is continuing because he is, as I told, he has coalesced our entire batch into one unit so that they don't disperse and then they forget one another. Now at least we greet each other on birthdays.
Birthdays.
Then we also felicitate the parents of children who perform beautifully and such kind of things. We celebrate events. We meet in the club and all that. All that galvanization Sri Suresh Chandji has done, and I'm particularly very grateful to you, and I'm sure my team, Chandrahas, Harish, and there's another guy who is going to join. This we are all grateful to you, and may God bless you with fantastic health.
Thank you.
Not only you, your entire family, and then may you continue to serve the society one way or the other. The moment you push our own service, automatically it will have cascading effect, and then the people will be served. So, thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you so much.
This
Thank
was
you.
so nice.
Thank you.